Last week was an absolutely enormous week for markets. Okay, we have a couple of our different currency pairs here hitting all-time highs, and there's a couple of reasons why. All right, so there's going to be three things that I'm going to be discussing with you guys this week. We're going to talk about last week's recap. Okay, we were looking for some moves on the EURUSD. The exact opposite happened, so we're going to do a play-by-play on that end. We want to talk a little bit about the Jackson Hole symposium that happened, because that drove a lot of these markets, all over the place. All right, and then last but not least, coronavirus and this new idea that only 6% of cases have been actual coronavirus deaths. All right, that's going to drive a massive amount of certainty back into markets, and that's why we see a lot of risk off happening right now. Okay, so if you guys are new to the Top Trader channel, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Here we like to talk about the fundamentals. We're going to dig real deep as to what's going on in markets to give you guys a better idea as to why prices are moving. All right, and at any point in this video, if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Okay, so real quick, I want to show you guys first what we're looking like here on the euro. Okay, our euro has turned around quite dramatically. This is the daily time frame, and as you guys can see, we have erased the past 2 days, down days, that we saw on the euro last week. Now, when we correlate that back over to the US dollar, we did break the low. Okay, I want to show you guys a quick snippet here of what we wanted on the Euro USD, because here's our Euro USD right now, right? We're right now hanging, breaking the high. So like I mentioned last week, we wanted to see that euro pull back down into structure. It didn't happen. There's a couple of reasons why. Okay, so our US dollar, again, if I draw open, let me just do this quick little zone here. You guys can see we ended up breaking the low in the US dollar. Now, at some point last week, I was like, we're nearing the low here on the US dollar, but guys, we have good news because we're also going a lot lower here on the Euro USD. So we got consolidation, right? It was amazing. But then out of nowhere on the dollar, right after the Jackson Hole symposium, basically a meeting with the Fed, guys, we saw markets tank sell side, breaking outside of that structure. And that was the sentiment change. Okay, this is the next part of the video. Markets breaking past this structure here, and that had an ideological shift in market participants, because people started to realize that, hey, look, we're not raising rates anytime soon. Okay, I wanted to show you guys real quick what we're looking like with the rates in the US. We're near zero. Okay, notice every time there's any kind of recession, we start to have rates start to move higher, move higher, move higher, and then we collapse. We've collapsed all the way up until 2016. Okay, well, 2015, late 2015, early 2016, we started to raise rates. And now, as you guys can see, we've just collapsed again. Here's a 10-year spread on it. And just to give you guys a little bit more context, this is what we're looking like right now on the 5-year spread for interest rates in the US. So money is extremely cheap. Money is extremely cheap. That's why we see this dollar. Notice you see a very high correlation with interest rates and the dollar. That's why we see the dollar pushing sell side so dramatically. And not every time it's so correlated. But right now, I mean, there's so many different things. We're lowering rates, and we just printed trillions of dollars. And not only that, we have just now had these announcements coming out from the CDC of them basically saying, hey, look, 94% of these cases of the people who died, like the data set of the people who died, 94% of them, they had pre-existing conditions, and that aided, the death process, unfortunately. Okay, and what that gives, all right, what that gives to market participants is certainty. What happened on the S&P earlier today? Okay, if we take a look at the SPY, you guys will see we did hit a quick little all-time high. I'll show you guys what we're looking like on Think or Swim, actually. Okay, so we did hit an all-time high again today on the S&P. Not an enormous price move to the upside, right? So not something enormous. And right now we're looking like a little bit of a red day, but the market's trading higher and higher and higher. All right, so now let's take a look at all of the different currency pairs though real quick. Okay, I want to show you guys what we're looking like on the Aussie USD. Okay, Aussie USD. Massive run right now, breaking higher. Why is this happening? Because we're getting weakness on our Aussie. As you guys can see, here's our Aussie index, just the Australian dollar compared to everything else. Weaker and weaker and weaker. Broke higher here on the Aussie index. Same thing with the NZD. We are getting stronger and stronger and stronger here on the Aussie index, on the NZD. And again, we're breaking to the upside. When I was saying weaker and weaker, I was saying that the Australian dollar is getting stronger. But when you compare that back over to the US dollar, we're getting weaker. So any currency pair right now where you're selling the dollar, you're looking pretty good. Now, can this sell side momentum continue? Well, we got to see, right? I mean, we could just create really a larger consolidation, right? So markets could easily get sucked right back up inside of this consolidation if we don't have a solid catalyst to drive markets lower. But I think we do. And our bias is slowly but surely changing. All right, but when you look again to the Aussie, when you look again to the NZD, even if we pull open the Aussie JPY, things of that sort, you guys can see we're breaking higher and higher and higher. So since we're seeing so much correlation with the US dollar and with the Japanese index here, let's take a look real quick at the Japanese index. What do you guys see here? Again, more sell side. We're seeing so much correlation there, guys. That means risk off. Okay, that means risk off. That means right now market participants are now pursuing yield. They're pursuing some type of return in markets, and they're trying to diversify their assets in emerging market economy potential currencies. So we might start seeing even the Mexican peso start to increase in value. You never know, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to try to rationalize an overall game plan for really September, because we just have to try to look forward into the future and say to ourselves, hey, look, could we see in the next few weeks or so, could we start to see this Aussie dollar continue this momentum to the upside? You guys do notice that, hey, there are certain occasions where we do get pullbacks, and you just got to be prepared for that. But as of right now, those pullbacks are quite shallow. Okay, now at the end of the day, do you want to be buying in right on the breakout? And really not even at the breakout. You're really buying after the breakout. Maybe not, right? So it's just about playing the game. Maybe a breakout style strategy will work well in this trading environment because pullbacks, they're few and far in between. And this is when you got to start switching up your trading methodology to align back to the market. All right. So we might be looking into breakout trading. Breakout trading is extremely exciting, especially around times right now with the Biden short coming in. Again, coronavirus easing off a bit. This might be an amazing time to start taking rips, moving stops pretty quickly and just letting the market run, hoping to get that momentous run, again, in the future. All right, so that's how we're going to be probably switching things up here on the for the top traders. We'll be going over all of the different trades that we'll be taking inside of the Top Trader Academy. The link for anyone who's serious about learning how to trade fundamentals the right way, the link is in the description below. Let me know what you guys think. All right, we're going to definitely see a tremendous amount of momentum coming in on all of these pairs, and it's just, again, it's about aligning to the right strategy right now. So we'll be back with more information as to, again, how we're navigating markets. Any questions you guys have for me, let me know. Guys, trade safe. Markets are definitely spicing up. Let's see what we get. All right, peace out.